Hi there, I'm Adam Kirbas, and this is my novel Sayyid Mahmoud. Mr. Commoner, confined to his prison cell at the end of his strength. He's staring at the door, staring at something that might happen. Luck. They believe in the good of this world, the good in this world still persists. Yes, even the most honest, even the most decent and the righteous fall prey to this formidable illusion that there would actually exist good in this world, because if good would indeed exist, if all human beings would be good, there would not be any sides in this world. There wouldn't be scumbags who take advantage of others, who cannot bear the sight of hard-working laborers. There wouldn't be the disciples of the devil wandering the streets. And if all would be good, there wouldn't be hate, there wouldn't be despair, there wouldn't be murder, there wouldn't be evil and crooked people. And every human being would live in perfect harmony. No, but this is not the world. This is not the world of reality. This is not the world of illusions. And Mr. Commoner yet was brought up in that way, brought up to believe that humanity, that the human heart in itself would be good and could only be do good. But how come that there is evil in this world? How come there are depraved and sickening people among us? Mr. Commoner does not know the answer, of course. He still believes in a misunderstanding. No saint was reported of being a crook, of being evil. This is not what we learn in this society. No, not at all. We believe in the fulfillment of our destiny, in the nature of good, in the personification of God himself. There is no room in this illusion for the devil, and yet the devil wanders the street. He walks among us. He cannot bear our sight. He cannot bear that we have everything, that we are joyous. The devil, this evil fiend, and his disciple, they even crave for the little we have. Because their hatred, their despise of humanity is such that they cannot wrap their evil heart and evil minds around the mere fact that a human, that a decent man only needs a little to feel joy, fulfillment. That the commoner, that the decent common heart, the honest, that he does not crave for more than his hard laboring body has garnered, that he cherishes only those things he worked for with hard labor sweat. This is the decent man. This is the commoner. This is the hero of our time. We shall bow our head to. We shall kiss their hands, and not the hands of the devils and his disciples, they are rapists and the most cruel of us all. Don't bow your heads of the most sickening and the most depraved of it all. And they all are called Sayyid, and they all are deceptive and crooked, and their nature does not have and feel any love. They can nothing but hate. Hate is their gospel. Envy, voluptuousness, greed. This is what these people are. And the devil's disciples, they have given themselves titles. They have made of themselves aristocrats, lords and ladies. They call themselves Sayyid, the most crooked and the most wicked, puts itself on a pedestal above all mankind and calls the common heart, calls heroes of our time lackeys. These are the most evil, these are the most vicious, and their thoughts and minds are the most malignant. And this is the truth. And yet this evil fiend, in his most crooked nature, this evil fiend, these villains, they always succeed in having power over us. They dominate us, they oppress us, they are deceptive and rob the little love we feel in our lives. They pour their rotten liquid of evil in our hearts. They divert us. These vicious people. And they rule us because they have brought forth a grand scheme, a deceptive scheme, an illusion, and the most depraved of it all, which undermines the common heart, which rottens it to its core. These evil fiends, they have brought perfect illusions upon the world, stating that they, and only they, could talk with God, and only they would be the chosen ones. And all others would be lackeys and beg for forgiveness. This is the evil scheme, and Mr. Commoner, he watches the door. He watches the door of freedom might open one day. But nothing will happen. Only starvation. This is the world of evil. This is the world of darkness. These are the dark shadows. The Sayyids rule, and they rule among us, above us. These oppressive, deceptive scumbags, parasites who nourish on us, parasites who carve out and shallow the formidable, good-natured human mind. Evil fiends. Deception is deadly. And Sayyid Mahmoud, he knows this. Sayyid Mahmoud and its kind, they prey on the good-hearted. And when he comes back to prison, he struts among the prison cells, this scumbag, this parasite, those prison cells, him and his kind, his deceptive, crooked, and evil kind have locked up in decent human beings. These parasites, these scumbags, these evil fiends. How many souls have they destroyed? How many lives have these parasites perished? How many people have lost all hope and joy at the hands of these disciples of the devil? Do not bow your head. Do not bow your head of these evil fiends. Crush them. And Sayyid Mahmoud, he hears himself. He enjoys himself. This is what these scumbag, these parasites always do. This is what they want. This is their thrill. Nourish on people's hopelessness. Nourish on people's fear. These evil fiends, these non-human parasites, they drain us. They crush us. This malignant disease. And Sayyid Mahmoud, he struts somewhere. The movement of these evil fiends never stops. The evil fiend sneaks around the houses of the decent, ready to jump on them. The devil has reeked blood. The devil craves for common hearts, for the decent ones. And Sayyid Mahmoud and its kind, they are no exception. And he walks into the prison. This is what they have built their contribution to society. Not lovely warm homes, no. These evil fiends, they cannot cherish the good, the little fortunes. A common heart, a decent man can cherish, no. These parasites, they do not nourish. They can't nourish off commoners. No, the only thing these evil fiends can think of are prisons. And how to deceive the most honest, the heroes in our time. That's the gospel the disciples of the devil are being taught. And then Sayyid Mahmoud stands in front of the prison door, the prison cell of Mr. Commoner, our hero. Mr. Commoner still does not know what is his fault. What did he wrong? But in the world of parasites, in the world of scumbags, in the world of evil fiends, and the world of Sayyids there, in this world, you have plenty if you have few. In darkness, and in evil, in the evil, depraved, and the rugged valley of the Sayyids, there you are wealthy only with a spark of light in the darkness. You are wealthy with just a spark of humanity in such darkness, where people are blinded, where people are destroyed, and tragedies are behind every man's face there. Even a small spark makes you the most wealthy human being in the world. One spark of humanity, one spark of decency, one spark of honesty. Therefore, in darkness, the enemy of darkness is the light. Adam is the commoner. The enemy of darkness is the common heart, the hero, the incorruptible. And Sayyid Mahmoud enjoys the very thought that Mr. Commoner cannot escape. He has trapped him here. He has robbed him of all his humanity, and he can do with him what he pleases. And where is his God now? This is what Sayyid Mahmoud and his depraved, sick parasites ask themselves and all the sides, where is your God now? Where? Huh? And if your God would be on your side, and if God would hear you, why doesn't he free you? Why doesn't he help you? And Sayyid Mahmoud chuckles. His prickish, evil, ugly face is distorted. This scumbag, he's a revoltingly ugly, disgusting face. Chuckles like a pig. I feel nauseous already. And he chuckles, huh? If the commoner was such a decent man, if the commoner was such an honest man, why are no one helping him? Why is he all alone? This is what Sayyid Mahmoud and his evil kind are counting on. Because in darkness, no one sees each other. In darkness, the common heart beats only for himself. In darkness, these evil fiends prevent us from uniting. Sayyid Mahmoud opens the door. With a regal gesture, he holds his hand up like an emperor, like someone who claims to be God himself, this evil fiend. Because he decides about life and death. And what a thrill this is. What an excitement it is for these depraved and sickening people. They enjoy it. That's their lifeblood. That's what they love. This is the only thing they can perceive, love in destroying something. Destruction is their daily bread. And Sayyid Mahmoud opens the door and he struts in, looks at Mr. Commoner, still expects that this mystery might be solved one day, but there is no solution. There is no solution in a mortal sense. You cannot make peace with darkness. You cannot make peace with the most crooked and the most evil and the most deceptive. You cannot shake the hand of the devil and assume that he will keep his end of the bargain. Sayyid Mahmoud and his kind, they think themselves above contracts, above what everyone would consider honorable. Parasites do not know honor. And Mr. Commoner was deceived all along. Didn't this evil fiend promise he would leave his family alone? Didn't Mr. Commoner, in his most honorable gesture, with his honest common heart, count on and sacrificed himself for that his family might not be harmed? And didn't the evil fiend Sayyid Mahmoud went into the home of the commoner, harassed Mrs. Commoner, and took over his home? Isn't this proof that the word of these scumbags, of these depraved parasites, mean nothing? But Mr. Commoner, our hero, it is sad to see him, sad being crippled to the floor, sad that he wrote with his blood on the walls, I am a nobody, I am nobody and nothing good will ever happen to me. It is sad that he had to write the gospel of Lakis on the walls. And what a sight that the hero and the most decent among us has to kneel for in front of the disciples of the devil, has to kneel in front of darkness, has to kneel in front of the most vicious. This is what darkness does to you. It cripples you. It destroys you. It drains you. And it sears its pamphlets onto one's mind and robs him of every joy. Sayyid Mahmoud struts to Mr. Commoner, who kneels in front of him, and there is again his devilish ugly smile. Sayyid Mahmoud enjoys him. He feels himself above us. That's when he gets his erection again. Yes, this is what they like. This is what the depraved and sick scumbags like. He again has his erection. And he looks at Mr. Commoner. And he takes out some clothes. It is the underwear of Mr. Commoner's daughter. This parasite, this evil fiend, this scumbag, this lowlife went into the home of Mr. Commoner and took the underwear of his little daughter. Yes, this sickening, depraved, evil parasite took the underwear of Mr. Commoner's little daughter. He took it with it as a trophy, as something he can jerk off to, so that he can show it around and show it to Mr. Commoner. Sayyid Mahmoud exclaims proudly in his despicable, ugly, despicable, priggish, scumbag voice. I was at your home. This is how the devil's disciple speaks, the evil fiend. I was at your home. I was with your wife. I was with your daughter. And I took away her underwear. Here, this is the underwear of your little daughter, of your princess. I was with them, and you can do nothing about it. This is how this scumbag, this is sickening to his core. This is the most depraved and vicious scumbag the world has ever seen. What a parasite! What a lowlife! What a despicable, abhorrent creature! And when Mr. Commoner sees the underwear of his little daughter, his world crumbles down. He thought that this parasite, that this scumbag, that this lowlife, that gore, that the plague of all humanity, that this parasite would actually keep his word. But he was mistaken. And Sayyid Mahmoud chuckles. What a despicable, what a depraved creature. He chuckles his priggish scumbag smile. This lowlife, he chuckles. He chuckles because he owns the life of Mr. Commoner. This parasite and his kind, they can chuckle because they have incarcerated us. They have enchained us. They have robbed us of our lives. They have taken over our homes. They have raped and destroyed our good name. Yes, these parasites, they can chuckle, for they have it all. They have everything they robbed from us. This is their wealth. Sayyid Mahmoud looks at the tears of Mr. Commoner. Again, he gets an erection. This moment is most precious. The evil fiend derives joy from destruction. He is not a common heart. He is not a decent soul, because the common heart derives joy from love in building something, in creating something. But evil cannot build something. Evil can only rob and destroy. That's the wealth of these Sayyids. That's the wealth of these depraved people. And Mr. Commoner is speechless. What a fate. What a fate. Sayyid Mahmoud, he dragged off again. He again felt God. He again thrilled himself that he holds the life of someone. Sayyid Mahmoud then turns around, puts the underwear of Mr. Commoner's little daughter in his pocket again. He will keep it. He will keep it and enjoy this moment. What a sick, what a depraved, what a scumbag, what an evil fiend, what a parasite. And yet, these parasites, they walk among us. These parasites, they sneak among us. They are soul eaters. Lifeblood drainers. Heartless creatures. Mr. Commoner is shattered. His belief in the good of this world dissolved. Finally, he grasps the depth of evil. Finally, he sees this prickish, evil fiend with true eyes. Finally, his illusion, this stupid education we all were brought up with, crumbles. He's shattered. Finally, Mr. Commoner wakes up. And finally, he grasps that the hero of our time, that the most decent, cannot accomplish the great deed with humbleness, with humbling himself to someone who raised himself to a god. Finally, Mr. Commoner realizes that you cannot make a treaty with the devil, with the most wicked, with the most vicious. Finally, Mr. Commoner is committed. Finally, he understands that this world is the world of darkness. It's the world where values are upside down. And Mr. Commoner paces up and down in his prison cell. He reads the disciples of the lackeys. I am nobody, and nothing good will ever happen to me. He could not believe it. He cannot believe it. The common heart, the most decent, the most honest, our hero, cannot believe in the gospels of lackeys. These words were nothing but the words of the oppressors, of the demons, of the evil fiends. And Mr. Commoner realizes that he has to do something. He realizes that he will probably never see his family again. He realizes that this has no good, that this thing that he wrongly believed in the good, that he wrongly assumed that there would be a happy ending, there would be something that would give him hope or anything. No, this illusion now is down, is been crumbled and shattered. This road leads nowhere. And Mr. Commoner understands that action is needed. He has to do something. Mr. Commoner realizes this is not only about him. This is not only about his family. Mr. Commoner saw all those prison cells, all those poor souls who have been locked up in. Mr. Commoner saw the darkness, the Sayyids reigning, and they deprave everything. And so far, Mr. Commoner fought as long as he can keep decent, as long as he can keep honest, as long as he follows honor. Nothing would ever happen to him. God's grace, God's light would always shine on him. But this was a mistake. No one will help him. Only he himself can help himself. And Mr. Commoner is thoughtful. After a while, Sayyid Mahmoud reappears. He opens the prison door and he struts in. And again, this piglish, ugly smile. You cannot forget this pig, this scumbag, this parasite. You cannot bear the sight of these scumbags, these ugly people. Sayyid Mahmoud struts and stops in front of Mr. Commoner. He again takes out the underwear of his little daughter. If you want me to leave your family alone, you have to kiss the floor. I walk it. I want your lips to kiss the floor. This is the demand of the devil's disciple. This is the demand of the parasite. This is the demand of the fiend to all humanity. This is the demand of the villain. This is the demand of the enemy of all mankind. This is the demand of the parasite. But Mr. Commoner understands this has no use. This leads to nowhere. And he gets up. He does not kneel in front of this scumbag anymore. He raises himself. He takes in a poise of pride, of strength. Despite his blood was drained, despite he was hungered and starved, he can stand upright. What a man! And Mr. Commoner looks at Sayyid Mahmoud, looks at darkness. He looks at the most ugly and the most depraved and the most filthy creature in this world. He looks at the disciple of the devil. And he says, "You will not hurt anyone no more." Sayyid Mahmoud, in his despicable, piggish face, his smile disappears. No lackey of his has talked to him in such a way. This is not what this parasite is used to. Sayyid Mahmoud does not understand. These parasites, they never understand the common heart. Sayyid Mahmoud looks at Mr. Commoner. But at that very moment, Mr. Commoner jumps at Sayyid Mahmoud. He beats him. He crushes him. He does not stop beating him. He has beat him. He has crushed him. Kill this parasite. Sayyid Mahmoud doesn't know what happened, but he's been beaten at. Mr. Commoner finds the strength. He thinks about his family. He thinks about all these people who have been robbed of their lives and their joy. He thinks about all them. And he crushes this scumbag. He beats up this parasite. He puts his hand on his throat and he throttles him. Yes, kill him. Kill them all. He chokes this scumbag. He chokes him. He chokes him until the blood drains of him. The disciple of the devil cannot get air anymore. Yes, yes, this is the most decent a man can do. This is what the commoner is ought to do. And Sayyid Mahmoud's life oozes out of him, drop by drop. This is justice in a world of darkness. And in his ugly, piggish, scumbag face is still the impression of confusion. This parasite, this scumbag, this evil fiend, this lowlife, this most vicious, this most depraved, did not saw this one coming. He did not believe that there would be justice in darkness. Because he and his kind thought that they had killed humanity. But now, in this very prison cell, while outside is darkness, while outside tragedies are happening every minute, every day, there in this little prison cell, humanity spoke his verdict. And the life of this parasite is drained. Sayyid Mahmoud is dead. What a relief to all mankind. These are the deeds of heroes. This is the deed of a hero. This is the deed of an honest man. This is the fulfillment of honor, to protect one's family, to protect what one believes in. Mr. Commoner gets up. He stands upright, proud. His hands drained in the blood of the devil. Nothing bad can ever happen to him because he did a good deed, because he, Mr. Commoner, was brave. This is what people will talk about. These are the nursery rhymes parents will tell their children.